failed many times, although you may not remember. You fell down the first time you tried to walk. You almost drowned the first time you tried to swim, didn't you? Did you hit the ball the first time you swung at it? Heavy hitters, the one who hit the most home runs, also strike out a lot. Babe Ruth struck out 1,330 times, but he also hit 714 home runs. Don't worry about failure. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. After I read this, I was also reminded of one of the most famous men in history. He lost 8 elections, failed twice in business, and suffered a nervous breakdown. I'd hate to think where this nation would be today if Abraham Lincoln had been afraid to fail. In Isaiah 41:13, God says, "For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, 'Do not fear, I will help you.'" I think that if we keep this in mind, there's really no way we can fail. I'd like to conclude by thanking a few very important people. First, I'd like to thank God. I'd like to thank him for all the blessings in my life, one of them being all of you sitting in front of me. Mom, Dad, Trent, Jennifer, thanks for everything. I can't possibly begin to describe what you've done for me. I love you. I'd like to thank every teacher and coach I've had from kindergarten to high school. You shaped my life in so many ways, and I would especially like to thank those sponsors that went with us on the senior trip. You made it very enjoyable and memorable. Last but certainly not least, I would like to thank the class of 1998. The past 13 years have been wonderful, and I'll remember you always. Especially those of you who made the trek to Washington, D.C. this past week. Who would have thought that singing old Alabama songs as we rode across the country would bring us so close? Every time I hear Ride the Train, I'll think of you. Good luck in the future. I know you'll do great things. And goodbye until I see you again.
The task of the salutatorian is to deliver the welcome at graduation. As such, I would like to welcome everyone to the graduation of the class of 1998. It is an honor and privilege to have everyone here to help the class of 1998 close a chapter in our lives. I would like to extend thanks to everyone who has helped us to reach the heights that we are at today. Thanks to all of the past teachers, our friends, our family, and especially our parents. I would like to send out special thanks to those teachers who continue to show an interest in me and who have kept track of my progress throughout the years. Many teachers, such as Mrs. Grace Persley, my third grade homeroom teacher, ask me how I am doing every time they see me. I would also like to personally thank Mrs. Linda Roller, who often goes out of her way to help students, both present and past. I'm sure many students share the same opinion. I would like to send one last and special thanks to my mother. She has given me more help, courage, and wisdom than one could ever hope for. She has always told me that as long as I tried my hardest in school, she would be proud of me, no matter what my grades were. I believe this applies to every other aspect of my life as well. Fellow classmates, as long as we go into the task wholeheartedly, we will be proud of ourselves, even if the end results are not what we expected. As Ivy Baker Priest, former treasurer of the U.S., once said, "The world is round, and the place which may seem like the end may also be only the beginning." Happy beginnings and best wishes to you all.
Introduce and recognize the valedictorians of the class of 1998. They are John Bamber, Christy Hall, and Wes Tapline. And they will come forward respectively to present their exhibit.
Well, when I started on my speech about 3 o'clock today, I thought I'd just try to include everybody. And first of all, I'd like to give a hats off to the class and for their fine performance in D.C. that anybody gets sent home, and also thankful for the school board who totally supports us. I see them everywhere. I was in the play and have school board members coming to that, and they're all here. Well, it's kind of a job to be here, but thank you for letting us keep the tradition of the senior trip, because not many schools can do that. So you guys go clap. I was trying to turn off my speech today on the computer, but it didn't work. So I decided to put it on disk. So I have 7.88 megabytes of speech right here. And they're my notes. So, I'd like to start off by saying that everything I need in life I learned in kindergarten. Did I say kindergarten? I meant Coach Schrader's drafting class. In the drafting class, we learned the dedication about accuracy, precision, originality, and doing everything with a touch of class. I urge you, class of '98, to do everything with a touch of class and all those other attributes I just said. This number one. Also with the drafting thing, I thank all the teachers for laying a firm foundation. The foundation's kind of mixed up. Taxpayers' money ground up with gum from under the desks, and computers, and books, and pencils, and computer disks too. And that lays a firm foundation for all of our class as we build our future. This is kind of corny. This foundation has been hardened by 13 or 14 years of school. That is excluding senioritis, which we experienced second semester. Tip number 2. Class of '98, we can and will build the homes, businesses, professions, and lives of our dreams with this firm foundation. Our lives should also be monuments designed after our Lord Jesus Christ. And in James 1:9 it says, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Okay. To my teachers, friends, relatives, and everybody else, I'm in debt because you guys have all helped me along the way. Teachers are too numerous to mention. Each one of you has inspired me in a different way, and I thank you for that. And I'd like to thank my parents for never letting me settle for less than my best. And list number 4. I'll close with a few encouraging phrases that I normally hear here at BHS. Senior Barry always said, "Mas vale tarde que nunca," which means better late than never. Has a lot to do with my speech here. All right. Coach Schrader always said, stick to it like stink on bananas, and that's always a good one too. And just to keep me into class, Mr. Smith, well, he's always been there for us this past 2 years, and his favorite line is, "Yo, boys, get on back to class." And I'd like to thank you for keeping us in class, because we actually graduated this year. And I'd like to thank the class of '98 for the good times we've had, and for 4 great years in high school, and I wish you the best. And I'm going to put my hat on that.
When I consider all my days of school, I cannot remember all of the mistakes I have made, though I can assure you there were many. I have but one regret, that I haven't put myself on the line often enough for what I believe in, and that I haven't risked more of myself. The words I have will not adequately express my feelings, so please allow me to share a poem, author unknown, with you. Risks. To laugh is to risk appearing a fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out for another is to risk involvement. To expose feelings is to risk exposing your true self. To place your ideas, your dreams, before a crowd is to risk their loss. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To live is to risk dying. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure. But risks must be taken, because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, and is nothing. They may avoid suffering and sorrow, but they cannot learn, feel, change, grow, love, live. Chained by their attitudes, they are a slave. They have forfeited their freedom.